Hey everyone. So this is something that Anand is working on, where he's thinking about having this sort of starburst look outside of this hoverable nav item. And so I want to do a quick demo on that because a few of you are doing image swaps. So this I think will be helpful for many of you. So basically, this will be when you hover, and then this will be when you don't hover. So I first started by saving out both of these images, but I realized the easiest way to do this is to have an image that has the same real estate. So I'm just going to pop over to Photoshop and just make a version basically that has the same real estate. So the same size image, but it doesn't have the starbursts in one. You could also just do two different ones with like different colored images. But so for this one, instead of using the 7, which has no, it's like, it's a smaller image size, I'm just going to take this one, save it as something, no starburst or something. Starburst, no. And then I'll do the Photoshop thing in a second. Okay, then I'm just going to erase this thing. Oh, I have to turn off the background, right? No. Oh, I bet I have to adjust the mode. RGB 8-bit. It won't let me do, okay. Magic eraser, no layers are selected. I am. Oh, okay. There you go. So E, turn on erase tool, make it bigger. I'll just do like quick and dirty. Erase. And then I'll just do a quick export. Quick export. Starburst, no. PNG. There we go. All right, so in my Replit, I'm just going to upload that new one. Close this guy. This page is too big. Alrighty. Close. Desktop downloads. Starburst, no. Okay. In images. So we don't need, come on. Sometimes that works. Maybe it doesn't work from downloads folder. The downloads folder is kind of a weird one. All right, so I'm going to put it in images. There we go. Don't need you anymore. I'm just going to get rid of you. I said go away. Delete. Yes. All right, so what we have is 2 images. Starburst, no. It's kind of a weird thing to name my image, but that's okay. All right, we have 2 images. They're both positioned absolutely, so we can't actually see them right now. If I just like turn one of these off, we'll be able to see that there's 2 of them there. There we go. So they're the same size. So when I have position absolute and they're positioned in the same spot, they'll just look like they're invisible. So what I want to do for hover off is I want to have display none. And then what I'm going to do is, oh, sorry, I meant display none and hover on, because we want to only have that on when we're hovering. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a link around everything. href. And actually, you could put it around the div. I'll just put it around the images. Some link, doesn't matter what it is. Okay, put it around both. Let's see if this thing will clean up my code. There's the code cleanup. There we go. Okay, I'm going to just change this because it drives me crazy. Hover image. Okay, so when we start out, we have just the 7. And when we hover, we want it to change to the other image. So we're going to use JQuery for that. So I'm going to go to code.jquery.com. I'm going to click on the minified version of the 3.x version. That's the one we want. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put it right above my body, right above my script tag. So you want jQuery to load first, and then you'll load your script. Okay, so we want to basically say, let's put the hover on the link. So class equals, for me, I'm so bad at naming things. So in jQuery, in our script, we're going to say, hey, jQuery, go find a class called hoverMe. And when I hover over it, go find, oops, I need to do, sorry about that. Hover, I want you to do a function, parentheses, curly bracket. And in the body, I want you to use jQuery to go find something called hover on. So that's a class. We need to add a dot. Hover on and change the CSS so that it goes from display none to display block. Oops. Okay, so when I hover over hoverMe, which is the anchor tag, I want you to go find an image with a class of hover on and change the display none to display block. So remember, we put that display none as default in the CSS for hover on. So I'm going to run this and then, oh, we don't even, it's so small. And then there you go. So that's great. It turns it on, but it doesn't turn it off. So this is always the trick with jQuery. So what we're going to do is we are going to add a class. Let's see, what's the best way to do this? We can do a couple different things. We can change the source of the image instead. So we would change the source of hover off. We could say mouse enter to change it to display block, and we could change it so that when we mouse leave, we can change it to display none again. It's probably the quickest, but depending on how many of these you have, this is where we should probably think about this. So we want to do this thing. So let's say I have a bunch of these. Hoverable. Why are you not running? Okay. Hoverable. It's like they're overlapping. Let me think about this for a second. I probably just need to put them in main, like another div, so that I can make main be a flex box. Display flex. I think it's the positioning. Position. Oh my gosh, this should never have been position absolute. Position relative. So this is the parent. There we go. Okay. So now what if you have multiples? So what you want to do is you want to say, when I hover over this, go find the kid. So let's do this. So I want to add some margin too, because they're kind of smashing up against each other. We'll just do 40 pixels. Okay, still smashing. Anyway, okay, hoverable. Let's stay on target here. Okay, so now what I want to say is, it will be this dot find. So basically, you're going to hover and you're going to say, wherever I'm hovering, go find a class that is, oops, these shouldn't be curly brackets. Go find a class that's in this thing that I just hovered over. and then do display block. So it'll only happen for the one that you're hovering over. So let's try it. Hover on display none. Okay. So hooray. Yep. So this is the JQuery or JavaScript this keyword, which is like super handy and allows you to just target the things that you're on instead of all the things. Okay, so I think that's probably about it. So if your images are already, like, let's say instead of doing this larger like starburst thing outside of this image, you just want to have two different images with different colors and hover over them. You don't need to do what I did in Photoshop. You can just export them directly from Figma or XD or whatever, and just make sure that the image sizes are the same and they'll just swap out, no problem. There's also, though, a filter, CSS filter image. And there's a bunch of things that you can do. Not blend mode. Okay, CSS filter photo. There we go. Okay, so you can do grayscale. Where's all the examples? Blur, brightness, contrast, drop shadow, grayscale, hue, rotate, invert, opacity, saturate, sepia, and even URL. I've never used the URL one, but we could do something where we do like a hue rotate. Let's just try that just to see what it looks like. I'll just put it on the off one. Style, hover off. Filter. So it's filter colon hue rotate, and then it's some degree. So I'll just say like 30. Does it have to be DEG? Let's look. Hue rotate. Let's play. Yeah, so it has to have DEG, but this is basically how it works. And you can try all these on actually, so you can kind of see what they do. Drop shadow could be a nice one, like a really subtle drop shadow. Anyway, so 30 DEG. So now when I hit run, oh, it's black. It probably won't hue rotate if it's black, huh? I hadn't thought about that part. Anyway, this filter stuff is really handy. Invert, I guess, would turn it white and black instead of black and white. But there you go. I'm going to stop. It's almost 13 seconds or 13 minutes. Okay, goodbye.